As possible. Let us hear from you then. Take a real part in this program. It'll give you much more pleasure if you do. You can vote by mail from your own home or your dealer's showroom by addressing Chrysler Corporation in care of your own station. If you're in our honor city, Jamestown, telephone Jamestown 8.
We spin our weekly Wheel of Fortune. Around she goes, and where she stops, nobody knows.
Ladies and gentlemen, friends, again we bring you new faces and new talent. The amateurs of today are the stars of tomorrow, and the Wheel of Fortune spins.
In the southwestern corner of the Empire State on beautiful Lake Chautauqua, we greet the city of Jamestown. A little more than a century ago, Jamestown was a tiny settlement on the banks of a sparkling stream hidden away in a dense forest. A few houses, a blacksmith shop, a church, a sawmill, a grist mill. That was Jamestown in its infancy. Jamestown's transition from a rude frontier settlement to a thriving village was no accident, no mere stroke of chance. It was due to the wise choice of her founder and namesake, James Prendergast, who intuitively realized that Jamestown lay in the core of what was destined to be a rich and fertile domain. Instinctively, he knew, too, that she would one day be among the great industrial cities of New York State. Jamestown's products are many and far-reaching. Furniture, she leads the world in the manufacture of metal office furniture. Textiles, tools, voting and washing machines, wood and metal products, woolen fabrics, ball bearings, kitchen cabinets, a noted home-owning city with tree-lined streets and beautiful parks and many churches and schools. Nearby, Chautauqua Institute, world's famous for its symphony concerts, rich musical and forensic attractions. Jamestown is a modern vacation Eden, a year-round paradise for all varieties of sports and hobbies. Our salutations to Jamestown, a model community, a thriving industrial center, a world-famous playground. All right. The first caller from Jamestown, William Fitzgerald, 1011 North Main Street. And from this area, Leona Van Buskirk, 13227 84th Street, Ozone Park, Long Island. And from Marana City, here we are, Jamestown, Kenneth Anderson, Alan Swanson, and Sherman Swan, the Cathedral Trumpeters. You boys been playing together for some time?
Yes, sir. And somehow we've managed to win first place at the National High School Competition for Trumpet Trios.
Good for you. A little closer, that's right. And that's something you're proud of. What's your father's work?
My father has been employed for the Jamestown Evening Journal for the past 35 years.
Goodness sake. What's your name?
Kenneth Anderson.
Kenneth. That's a wonderful record, and my compliments to him. What are you going to play?
Flirtations.
An excellent selection. For the honor of Jamestown now, Flirtations by Herbert Clark, famous trumpet soloist of his day, right? Go ahead. right. That's the Cathedral Trumpeters from Jamestown, and Jamestown produces some other things, amongst other things, very handsome young men, Kenneth Anderson, Alan Swanson, and Sherman Swanner.
And, Major, many honorary appointments and best wishes have come from civic bodies, clubs, and organizations of Jamestown, from Mayor Erickson, President Clark of the City Council, Police Chief Nylum, Fire Chief Pillblad, City Treasurer Selstrom, Sheriff Chadwick, Commodore Curtis, Publisher Mrs. Sheldon of the Jamestown Post, Manager Hall of the Evening Journal, President Wade of the Chamber of Commerce, Dr. Bester, Julius King, Arthur Goranson, and from Sister City, Lakewood. Major?
Thank you, Ralph. My thanks to my many friends in Jamestown for their souvenirs for the exhibit at the Chrysler Building, and to the Jamestown florists. Ambassadors from Jamestown, Mayor-elect Leon F. Roberts and John H. Wright are welcome guests in our studio tonight, and we're very happy indeed and complimented to have them here. And my compliments, all right, my compliments to Honorable Robert H. Jackson, Solicitor General of the United States, Jamestown's favorite son. The telephone bulletin, the 6 put and takes at 1,330 calls. Victoria Jackalone, the little 16-year-old singer, Villanelle, 2,363. The Cathedral Trumpeters from our honor city received so far 9,739 telephone calls. And see the mayor-elect there, Mr. Wright, is smiling very broadly and happily.
Thought of you, and I forget to do the little ordinary things that everyone ought to do. I'm living in a kind of daydream. I'm happy as a king, and foolish though it may seem to me, that's everything, the mere idea of you, the longing here for...
This stadium hosted its very first game. The opponent was Batavia, and our team was the Jamestown Falcons. Jamestown won. The back player for the 1941 Falcons was Jack Gallagher. Today we are privileged to have as our honorary bat boy, Jack Gallagher's brother, Jim Gallagher. Jack is wearing a replica 1941 Jamestown Falcons hat and jersey. Jim will be delivering today's rider card. Please give him a big round of applause.
Lux presents Hollywood. Lever Brothers Company, the makers of Lux Toilet Soap, bring you the Lux Radio Theater, starring Lucille Ball and Mark Stevens in The Dark Corner. Ladies and gentlemen, your producer, Mr. William Keeley.
Greetings from Hollywood, ladies and gentlemen. The other day at the studio, Fred Colmar, prominent 20th Century Fox producer, was telling me how a few years ago, when he was a young film executive, he chanced to see a Titian-haired young model whom he thought had great screen possibilities, Lucille Ball. Little did he dream that some years later he'd be starring that same Titian-haired beauty in his production and our play tonight, The Dark Corner, thereby vindicating his judgment. Co-starred with Miss Ball is another player who's risen rapidly to well-deserved eminence on the screen, Mark Stevens. Both superbly cast, I think you'll agree, in a hard-hitting melodrama of murder, mystery, and romance. Lucille Ball as Kathleen and Mark Stevens as Bradford Galt in Act One of The Dark Corner. New York City, a sultry summer afternoon.
It's nearly 6 o'clock, Mr. Galt. I'll leave, too, if there's nothing else.
There is something else.
Oh?
Would you mind having dinner with me?
Is this part of the job?
It is tonight.
Working conditions are certainly looking up around here.
And party your nose, honey, and let's go.
Oh, dinner was lovely, Mr. Galt. Thank you.
You're welcome. Say, how'd you like to go dancing? We got some great playgrounds up around 52nd Street.
Among them, your apartment?
Oh, well, that's just a coincidence.
I haven't worked for you very long, but I know when you're pitching a curve at me, and I always carry a catcher's mitt.
No offense. The guy's got to try, doesn't he?
Not in my league, Mr. Galt. In my league, we play for keeps, said she with a smile.
Oh, well, maybe I ought to fire you then.
Girl had opened on Broadway. Irma La Douce would close at the end of the year. But playing in New York Central Park with Joey Brown umpire and Julie Andrews catcher, Lucille Ball was up at bat. It was the 1961 Broadway show's Softball League. Lucille was a showstopper